Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got videos today from acenate.
A widely accepted narrative says that young men are falling behind young women.
When they keep on bringing up college statistics, yeah.
And this is brought up when the mainstream wants to take a brief moment from denigrating men to act like they actually care about men. And that is the angle they will run with. But you should not mistake any of this for like genuine concern about the return of, male spaces or masculinity.
I mean, we're not even allowed to have cigar clubs for just men anymore. Like, most women don't even smoke cigars. But yet, we're not allowed to have a gentleman-only cigar club.
There is an obvious war on young men happening right now, and the objective of this war is to keep men and women divided so that we don't join together to create family units, because if there's one thing that the elites hate, it is a strong family unit. And if I'm
it's just funny now that they talk about, oh, it's the elites. So you've just been brainwashed this whole time, and now you're starting to realize this?
being completely honest, I don't see this problem getting better until women, myself included, take responsibility for the hand that we've had in radicalizing men. I'm going to add this disclaimer, even though I shouldn't have to. I'm obviously not saying that women are solely responsible for fixing this issue, okay? I'm not saying that. But I will say that we had a big hand in creating this problem, and it is our responsibility to partially amend it. So,
I mean, at least fix your half of things.
what's going on with young men exactly? Well, the simple answer is they are not doing well. They are not succeeding. Women are surpassing them at every level.
And so this is the part that I was talking about.
Doesn't it feel like a backhand, sympathy? How backhand compliments, they'll compliment you and then say something bad afterwards to slap you back into place. This feels like they feel sorry for us and then they slap us back into place. It's because you guys are dumb and doing so horrible. That's why we feel bad for you.
In the intro. So just pay attention to the topics that are brought up.
Professional careers and education, all of it. Okay, we are seeing young men struggle. They are addicted to porn. They are addicted to video games.
I don't think men are struggling like that. They're struggling because they have no drive or vision of a obtainable future for them anymore. That's why they don't seem to want to drive or want to do better nowadays, because family units are destroyed. Them having the chances of having solid kids, slim to none. Them finding a good mate at being an average man, slim to none nowadays, it seems.
They do not want to partake in society because they have internalized this message that society and women hate them. Now, because this is the message that they are constantly hearing from society, both online and offline, men are becoming more radical. They are looking towards figures like Andrew Tate because figures like Andrew Tate actually validate them. And we as women,
God
we have
forbid.
not made this any easier for men.
So the second half of her clip here is actually going to be calling out women, which is refreshing. So stay till the end here. But, the first half, I'm convinced that this narrative around the state of boys and young men is meant to be described in such a way that makes them sound lazy and incompetent.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. Do you think this is new? Right? Isn't this just a new way of pushing male incompetence?
Yeah.
We went from sitcoms and other entertainment pieces portraying the man, the bumbling idiot of a man. And now when you look into the mainstream, it's always about, the young men, they're really sucking right now, aren't they? But hey, we would like for them to stop sucking because we kind of care about them.
No, see, that's the thing, right, Nate, they only care about them because these are the mates that they're gonna have to choose from. That's why they care. They don't actually care about the men and the people themselves, the individual themselves. No, they care about what kind of men they're going to receive and the kind of men that are in the dating pool for them. That's why they care, right?
And, there is some truth to these things, right? Yes, women are more college attendees than men. But isn't that obviously going to be the outcome? What else are they going to do? Are they going to go to the trades? Are they going to become a pilot? Fireman, an entrepreneur,
electrician,
police officer, or
plumber,
like an electrician. Thanks to the versatility of man, he has a lot more options than a woman outside of college.
True. I mean, most college careers, or careers that use college degrees, are usually some type of office job majority of the time.
And since basically there's no girls that are graduating high school with the intent to, find a husband and raise his children and never divorce or leave him.
That's not even a normal option nowadays. I don't even think women know that it's an option now.
There's really only one other option. Get a job, right?
And work for the rest of your life.
And again, because of their capabilities and interests, it's mostly going to lead to them working in an office environment or an environment that requires basically no physicality or having to deal with like big machinery.
And with a lot of AC.
And the number one way to get to that type of profession, it's a degree.
Correct.
So, I'm not surprised that when it comes to school and college, there are more women involved.
I mean, how many construction workers are there? I'm pretty sure most of those construction workers are not college educated, but they're doing the work.
And I hold that position and also acknowledge how feminism has played its role, in emphasizing that women go to college. But if we look at NEET numbers, which means not in education, employment, or training in the U.S., the U.S. data shows that percentage is slightly higher among women. So narratives that imply young men as a whole are falling behind young women, it's misleading, right?
Well, you gotta remember, Nate. Well, they usually go with those college statistics. So yes, a lot of women are graduating more from college. Maybe they'll get college type careers, but they also have massive debt. That's the other side that they're not saying, right? Yes, men may not graduate college at the same rate, but men don't have massive debt the same rate either, right? Men can still make the same amount of money without going to college. It's called physical manual labor.
But let's expand on this. Let's talk about the state of women to help us see if there is some sort of psyop going on here that is kind of nefariously spreading male laziness and incompetence and yes, radicalized.
Well, I think it's just they already hate men. They already speak down on men. They already think they're better than men. So them just looking at men and like, oh, they're just losers. They need to stop being losers. It seems pretty reasonable to go through that route. The thought process.
So for one, women are much more likely to be on antidepressants.
100%.
Right? Women, yes, they dominate college, and they also dominate the debt that comes with it. If we look at high school girls, we can see that in 1993, 83% of 12th grade girls said they wanted to get married someday, and now that's dropped to 61%. Whereas boys stayed the same at about 74%.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So where are the mainstream think pieces about what's wrong with young women? Why don't they want families anymore? Are they being radicalized? What about how often women initiate divorces? Where is
80s and 90s?
The female divorce epidemic write-ups, right? And if we want to talk about porn addiction, sure, I'm willing to admit that is an issue.
Sure.
Do we also want to talk about the crap that women are reading? Morning Milking Farm or whatever the fuck that book is called?
That Milking Farm is just out of this world.
What about how girls use social media more than boys? We all know how damaging social media is. Where's
Instagram is a woman's app. YouTube is a man's app though. It's because there's a lot of DIY is it DIY?
Turn over that. Let's actually get into career success, right? Men still make more money than women.
Hell yeah, we do.
Men still dominate top leadership. And so my point is that what is this strange obsession and need to paint men exclusively as, again, incompetent, lazy, and struggling? And the fact is, this isn't new.
True.
The problem is people have picked up too much on the propagandized sitcoms and the entertainment. They've seen through that propaganda, right?
Yeah, they really think husbands are just doofuses all the time, that women have to take care of them and manage all of their dumbass fuckery or something.
Bumbling idiot of a man. And so they're thinking, yeah, now we need to switch it up a bit. And they have. But the underlying message, it's really still the same though, right? Female superiority. So in the sitcoms, it used to be man needs woman. Man can't function without woman.
Correct.
And so inevitably, women will run things. They are the superior sex.
Yeah, it went from that narrative to, oh, men need women, to now women are like, well, they need us, but now that we don't need them, yeah, they're just losers. That's how the women see men now. They're just losers because we don't need them.
And now with this one, with this whole kind of spin up that we see nowadays from the mainstream about how men are falling behind young women, the idea is once the women get equality, all of a sudden the men can't keep up. See, they're falling behind. So it becomes,
that is the narrative.
Well, I guess the future is female.
And even if men are still doing better, they're going to just say, oh, well, men had longer time to be able to do that. You guys been working for longer.
Right? And this is kind of the idea. And I read an article a couple of weeks ago from Helen Andrews titled The Great Feminization. And I made a video about it if you want to go check it out. And she asked a great question, right? Is this more about male versus female competency? Or are a lot of these women getting special treatment in the hiring process? Is there a thumb on the scale? The answer is yes.
Of course.
My opinion. But I will say that when it comes to the law and doctors, as far as actual practicing professionals, that is where I do see some concern for these fields becoming no longer male dominated. Yes, thanks to the attendance difference in college. So that I worry about. So we need to get more men in those fields.
Well, men are going to college and they're focusing more on the STEMs, so that's where men thrive.
I personally, no. Can't have that becoming female dominated. And, on the topic of video games, I personally, I don't play video games, but I do like to watch movies. I love it. But my point is while a man is playing a video game, a woman is somewhere watching some, reality TV slop.
Or just shopping or laughing with her friends at brunch.
But the narrative is only on the man and his video game.
Yep.
It's
because remember, we can't be lazy. We can't be, we can't not do something. Like in women's eyes, men are there to work and to do something. If you're not doing something, then you're not doing your job.
Strange. Even with the whole male loneliness epidemic, right? Female loneliness is up a lot as well. It's not the same as men, but that has always been the case. Men have always been more lonely than women. So This isn't new. And again, female loneliness is also on the up and up. But no mention of that. And then as far as...
Remember, Nate, can't make women look good. We can't make women look bad, but we can make men look bad all the time.
Young boys and men becoming more radical. It's not even true. Males 18 to 29 voted Kamala Harris last election. They're not even majority Republicans.
Nope.
Let alone far-right radicals.
Most of the conservatives are people my age, like around the 30s.
Like, if we want to look at which gender has truly become more radical, it's overwhelmingly women. It's not even close, and they've been spiraling for decades. How on earth did we get to the point to where more boys in high school see themselves getting married than the girls?
That is crazy. That is crazy. Like, that is not a innate thing in men, but it is very an innate thing in women.
It's utter insanity. Where's the headline? What's going on with women? Women becoming far-right extremists. Right? Somebody call up the New York Times. Men are still outperforming women where it actually matters, right? In earnings, in innovation, leadership. Oh, and by the way, they're doing it in spite of the friction, like being belittled for decades.
And with our mouth shut, without any complaints.
Okay. I will give you an example of what the average experience for a man is in this current society, especially online. Men go on TikTok and what do they see? They hear women saying, if you're not tall, rich, and hot, get out of my face. They see women doxing men online just for, sending them a DM on Instagram just because they're ugly. They see women saying, men used to go to war and die and now they just take pictures. They see all of this and It just reinforces this idea that society hates them and that women hate them. I don't know about you, but I would also not want to partake in a society that...
And that's she's correct on this one. Yes, men just don't want to partake in the society anymore. And that's probably the biggest reason why they're behind in certain aspects.
Makes me feel that way. I would also not want to couple up with the gender that's making me feel that way. Now look, this conversation is very nuanced. I'm not saying this is the sole reason why men are becoming radicalized, because it's not. But it is a portion of it, right? And this is something that we as women can control. So ladies, I need you to stop complaining that there are no good guys out there. Because first of all, that's not true. And also, we are not creating an environment that is going to facilitate the growth of good men.
Correct. You guys are just facilitating fucker boys.
We are creating an environment that makes them want to be reclusive. Because all we're doing is shouting, you suck, we hate you, get out of our faces. And I already know that some feminists are going to attack me in the comments saying, okay, pick me, okay, pick me, okay, pick Misha. But I don't care. I don't care, okay? I think it's very important that women are talking about this, okay? Because this is a problem. This is a problem in society. Men make up half of our population, okay? We want strong men. We need strong men in society. As much as you probably don't want to hear that, it's the truth, okay? Yeah.
Man, it kind of sounds like she's been watching my videos, huh? I doubt it, though. I'm kind of tucked away in this corner of YouTube, I think.
I always think that sometimes, Nate, when we watch videos of women and then they talk, and we're like, have they been watching us or what?
But hey, I mean, no, she brought up all the points that we have been covering lately. And what she's describing here is the behavior of modern women, right? And the difference is, men still believe in these traditions. The problem is the women you have to pair up with to do those things with. Whereas women nowadays, no, they hate the traditions, right? They despise it. It's patriarchy. They want to burn it down. They want to burn everything down. They want nothing to do with it. Truly. It's because every single feminist wave has pushed women further in ideological drift, right? Creating beliefs.
I mean, pushing women to the extreme.
That pulled them away from family and stability. And that study I mentioned earlier that showed, right, high school senior girls less interested in marriage than even their mothers, that is a testament. That would be radicalization. We've got young women who are more interested in wearing pantsuits than a wedding dress.
So true.
Oh, and you can absolutely guarantee.
Yeah, it is so true that boss babe lifestyle mentality, so many women are eating it up. Like, that's the lifestyle they want to live. That's the personality they want to be. That boss babe,
That extends to their personalities. They're much more masculine women. You can even hear it in their voices. They've lost a sense of softness, right? And of course they've lost it.
You know, there's something like when you look at most things, when something hardens, does it ever really get soft again? Or is it easy for that thing to get soft again? No, it really isn't.
Because they've been told having that it's weak, it's unappealing, it's in the past, it's archaic. Boys don't speak like that. Boys don't come off as soft or delicate, somewhat fragile. Well, why should the girls? We can be just like them, if not better. Right? It reminds me, anything you can do, I can do better. That whole thing. And that sort of idea, it leads to this kind of cultural androgyny. And it dissolves the difference that once made relationships complementary, right? I mean, listen to what she's describing here. It's actually a miracle that the high school boys and their interest in marriage hasn't really changed. And yet somehow...
Yeah, I just think men are just slower creatures, as in we evolve slower. It takes us a lot more methodical time and effort for men to change, right? For women, just whatever environment tells them to do, the women just kind of conform to that. For men, we don't do that. So that's why society, men have stayed pretty even keeled throughout most of society. But women, up and down, left and right.
They're the ones who are extreme and radical. If you still believe in the nuclear family, how are you extreme exactly?
Apparently you are.
Though. Oh, is it because they make edgy jokes? We show some benevolent sexism?
Yeah.
Do people think that's new among male spaces? I don't think they believe it's new. I just think they don't want to tolerate it now. So they start installing hall monitors everywhere, changing labels. Nope, you can't have the Boy Scouts. Now it's Scouting of America. And it's like when you look at the women...
But they had Girl Scouts. That's the thing, though.
The way they speak about men, there's no humor to it.
But I always did feel the Girl Scouts was pretty much like a feminist indoctrination scout. Because the way they kind of go about teaching girls how to sell cookies and do all these things, it's a little bit weird.
Stone cold serious. We hate men. Like, it's a genuine hatred.
It really is.
And there's absolutely zero attention on it from the biggest publications in the world. But that just means we've got to take it into our own hands.
Nate's not wrong. Men have to take it into their own hands. But men don't really rally together and change laws. No, we just step back and just let everything burn and laugh. Which is not a good thing. If you look at society nowadays, it's just going downhill fast. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.